point is there in any form of money. We got to figure this thing out some other way that's fair. And God gave us the wherewithal to do that so that we can be free on a universal basis all around the world. I believe that with every fiber of my being, more and more and more, the older I get. It's got to be, it's a dramatic departure, a profound departure from this current world paradigm, this world system that's all about money. Don't be stupid. You love money. Don't be a liar. Don't be a phony. You're just a loser. Or you got this issue because of this. You don't have money. You're not ambitious. This, that, like it's a problem that you're not rich, that you're unsuccessful, that you're poor. You've got a defect. You're defective. Isn't that pretty much the way it is? And you tell me that's not sick. You tell me we could contend with this indefinitely when my whole life I'm watching the injustice, the unfairness, the social economic unfairness expand and grow and flourish in the land, the wealth imbalance, the debasement of the currency, the national debt, and seeing whose back it's falling on, vis-a-vis an ever-increasing cost of living, which is the absolute diametric opposite of what true capitalism, which embraces supply and demand, would produce. It would produce increasing worth of your money. That's the game if it was played fair. And eventually you can see the end from the beginning. A rising tide of prosperity across the board, all boats get lifted. And the game stays close the whole time. And we're all prosperous. So even if we were playing it on this ungodly method of using money and playing this game, submitting to this game imposed on us at birth by evil men that control the earth's purse strings, they think they own it in perpetuity. I mean, these people are nuts. It's not the case. That's like saying God's a paper tiger and that he's just going to let his saints and his righteous children, the meek, get bullied by these clowns in perpetuity. And it ain't going to happen, and they know it. They know that they've pushed hard and long, and they've done very good. They've been very successful. They want everyone to keep believing that we've secured the earth. It's ours. Like Warren Buffett and Blackstone and buying up all the housing. You understand? How is this even legal? What are the ethics involved here? You understand? Just buying anything all. What if I control all the toilet paper on earth? I buy up all the toilet paper companies, the machines, and you start paying me $50 per square. You got that? Good luck wiping your butt. And then I buy up all the bidets too, just in case you think, oh, no. You're not weaseling out of this. No. So on the day of reckoning, the last thing you want to do is be in defending money. It far too easily corrupts the hearts and minds of men. Far too easily. Stay cool, calm, and collected, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, friends, you don't want, like so many, we hear so often, well, life's not fair, and this attitude of just get comfortable with it. That's cognitive dissonance. Passive. It's sick. I mean, it's so sad. I feel like, people just become like brute beasts when their values are askew, when their belief systems aren't intact, when they're not on the right path, that saying, God, you lead my way. Let me pray and be honest. Let me ask and receive and accept the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth straight from you. The last thing you want, we've heard this term, right? It's nothing personal. It's just business, right? Like that's, I'm off the hook because I said that. Yeah, right. Until you explain to your owner how you treat your fellow man less than he wants you to. Need I say more? You get it, friends? I mean, look, I'm on everybody's side. That's whom I perceive the character of Christ to be. And if we're simply being honest, trying to emulate his nature, you understand, yes, it's about loving one another, loving your enemy, spreading that amazing grace throughout the land, letting people know their worth to God. Don't believe the world who tells you because you don't have the right skill or education. You're just another warm body. Do the earth a favor and get rid of your carbon footprint. Blow your brains out. I mean, that basically, to me, sums up the nature of the spirit of this world. Of course, it's not said like that. It's just a spirit just drifting around out there. See, we're going to raise the prices. We've turned capitalism on its head, so it's the inverse of supply and demand. Now, the less we sell of something, we got to charge more to compensate. You get it. They got everybody to understand madness. So everybody's insane. They're forced to embrace this. It's like the devil with a pitchfork. I still drive my car. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm supporting the system. I'm culpable. I'm paying for this to sponsor this war in Ukraine. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing if I'm going to drive. So I'm caving. I'm weak. I'll have to give account on the day of judgment, Judgment Day, the day of reckoning, when I do some explaining to my owner. And I'm pissed off about it. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to imbibe in the madness that is ubiquitous on planet Earth. It pretty much possesses the hearts and minds of all the inhabitants of Earth. If you don't say, oh my God, stand back, oh my God, it's true, the distinction is glaring if we're just being honest, not intellectual, like a child, like before they're able to lie, like 3 years old. The innocence and purity of heart, the nature of God, the nature of a puppy dog or kitty cat, the one that put it in you to value cuteness. Imagine that. Because God is cute. But remember, he's also the ferocious lion and tiger and bear, great white shark. And we don't want to piss him off. Not now, not ever. But we all do. We're all without excuse for pissing God off. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm wondering what that sledgehammer is that we're going to have upside the head. If coronavirus didn't teach us, if that wasn't the sledgehammer and all its variants, if 9/11 didn't teach us, if the nuclear bombs being dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the World War II didn't teach us, that wasn't the sledgehammer up the head, I wonder what is. And I'm never going to be. I was caught off guard on 9/11. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I first believed the official story that was terrible, but then I thought, whoa. I started listening to how ridiculous and absurd it is to the experts who said, no, this was an inside job. And a lot of people believe that to this day. You tell me. I don't have the ins and outs, but I know there's some fishy stuff, man. Really fishy aspect. Watch a video, I think it's still on YouTube. Loose Change is a pretty good one. I mean, there's a whole lot of them out there. The experts that did research said, look at this, look at that, look at that. It doesn't add up. And I believe that. I think things didn't go 100% to plan. Whose plan? You tell me. A few low-life terrorists in the Middle East? Unlikely. Those buildings reacting like that, the architects and engineers say, preposterous. That jet fuel burns off nearly immediately, and then it's just, you can tell by the black smoke, raw fuel just going up into the atmosphere. Just burn too fast, and then it's cool immediately. No way would it have brought down those buildings. How much do we hear about that? I mean, that was a sledgehammer I needed to say, whoa, man, I already knew there was some evil genius on this earth, acting in a very stealthy manner, using cognitive dissonance, and people can't deal with it. They're too busy paying bills. Their heads are spinning. They don't have time to breathe and think. That was enough for me. But do we need a limited nuclear exchange? I'm ready for it. I'm not going to be caught off guard. And that's unthinkable. But look what happened. It already happened in history. Hundreds of thousands of people between the two bombs dropped. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed. That was a limited nuclear unilateral exchange. We said, look, they didn't even need to use them, from what I've heard. They knew those subs were coming to attack Pearl Harbor. That's the info I've gotten. But they wanted to use their new bombs. Because that was a pretext for dropping those bombs. They said, look, these people are out of control. They're taking over Hawaii. Sick, man. Sick. God almighty. We're a sick race, a sick species, a sick civilization, and only God can help us now, my friends. So, friends, when we engage in cognitive dissonance, which we all do to some degree, we all put blinders on, a form of defense. But when we see it, we say, wow, I've matured, I've grown, I've become more honest, and I've learned more through experience. And you see, you reject it, and you come out of it self-delusion, self-deceit. It's willful. We know that, and it's indulgent, and it's wrong, and it doesn't serve any of us well to do this thing, Giving a damn and saying, I got to meet this thing head on. And with God's help, I'm going to die one way or another anyhow, so I can't fear these people. Because the worst thing they could do if I rub them the wrong way too much is kill me. But I have to stand up in behalf of the downtrodden. I have to be God's servant. There ain't no better calling, man. There ain't nothing better out there than be his friend. He owns us rightfully. We didn't create ourselves. We don't have the power to judge and condemn others. Thank God. It's beautiful. God is perfect. And you learn more and more about his perfection, about creation. How could it be so absurd to think it all just happened accidentally for no reason at all, No, right. You ever think, you like to keep your fingernails clean, right, guys? I manicure mine regularly, and I keep them pretty nice, but they get dirty because I do like to dig in the dirt and crap, and so, but you think about, how good a little nail file works for that, right? You got your little pocket knife, baby. But also, even your thumbnail works really well, for doing that. Can you imagine the intricacy with which he built the human body? There's microscopic nerve endings and all this going on in our body. It's on an atomic level. And then science is telling us now, wow, you got to rethink this thing called solidity, that all the atoms are really, they're just kind of held together through attraction. They're just all floating together. Imagine that. It kind of makes you realize, wow, that the body could be destroyed, even burned up, and the atoms never escape the atmosphere. God's still got the atoms, and he can reassemble them, reconstitute them at will, give us a vastly, infinitely, inconceivably better body that can't die, can't be threatened, doesn't get sick, can't be injured, no ailments. Yeah, you can imagine it. Isn't that cool? Because God gave you that power of imagination. It is straight from God. We are far, far above all the other creatures on earth. We're made in the very image and likeness of God. We have a very special lot in eternity. We're not built to last. We're built to last forever. It amazes me that we can live as long as we do and pollute our bodies like we do. Can you imagine a lion in the wild? What do they live, about 5 years? Can you imagine a majestic creature like a lion living 5 years only? Mind-blowing. And what do they do to pollute their bodies? Just eat a lot of meat, right? Maybe that's the problem. But, well, when you look at the toughest animals on earth, none of them eat meat. Bears, I guess they're kind of omnivorous, right? But, fish, maybe they eat a lot of fish. That's their main source of meat because they're kind of slow and cumbersome, right? And not that they can't move fast when they want to, But generally, when they're hunting stuff, I don't think they enjoy the chase, like other creatures like the lion do. But, when you look at the toughest animals, I mean, look at a bison. It's not going to eat any meat. You look at the rhinoceros and the elephant, vegetarians, herbivores. Even the whales, right? I mean, what do they eat? Plankton? I mean, I guess you could say they're living things, tiny little organisms.